All right, I'm so excited. You get to meet Georgie girl. Woo! So Georgie can okay, Georgie's business is doing so well. She's slammed and she's at home. Put her up, would you? And she's going to do this virtually because she had so many orders to pack today that she's like, Dad, I don't think I can make it. It's an hour drive. So there's Georgie girl. Georgie, wave to everybody.
Hey.
Hey. So I'm literally just going to sit on the side here and let her do her thing. And at the end, when she calls for questions and answers, I'll relay the questions to her. But it's super, super duper exciting. And I'm so excited for her. You know, the clothing industry is a very, very challenging business to be in. And very few brands ever get the traction that she's even gotten. And I know she's really at the beginning stages of what's going to be a really illustrious career. But I'm just so proud of the progress that she's made so far and the tenacity. And, you know, maybe, Georgie, you'll be able to spend some time and just talk about some of the hard lessons you learned along the way for them, whether you're going into the clothing business or any other business. You know, there are things that you learn through the hard school of knocks. You know, like I remember one time early on in Georgie's career when she, you know, had been working with a company. She got an invoice, she paid them, and they just never delivered, you know. And, you know, you learn stuff like that. So let me read her bio real quickly, and then Georgie girl is all yours. She's my youngest daughter. She actually has a twin sister. Charlie pushed her way out first, and then came Georgie, smiling from the second she was born. Charlie went to Evelyn. Georgie went to me, because you only have one kid you can hold at a time, and we just had this special bond, and we always have. It's funny, when she was a little baby, even if she would like not stop crying, the only time she'd stop crying is when Papa held her. So she's definitely a daddy's girl. So Georgie Dorfman is the founder of All My Love, and she is All My Love, a women's clothing brand centered around elevated basics and timeless style. She graduated from University of Wisconsin-Madison with a major in retailing and consumer behavior and a double minor in business and fashion design. Now based in Los Angeles, Georgie is growing her brand from the ground up, blending her passion for design with a strong desire for the modern consumer. Let's give Georgie a big leap welcome. Come on, she can only hear you, guys. All right, go Georgie girl.
Okay. Hi. Can we move to the next slide? So today I'm talking about how to start your own business. I have a clothing brand, but this is like applicable to any kind of business, small or big, or whether it's like a service or you're manufacturing goods like I am. These are all like the initial steps that you would take. So, I don't know, can the kids have their phones out? Maybe you want to take pictures, or you guys will send out the slides after.
Yeah, you guys take out your phone. If there's interesting things that you want, you're welcome to take pictures of Georgie's slides.
I wouldn't say that these steps are like necessarily in order. They're all kind of like the beginning steps. Can we move to the next slide?
Oh, okay, wait, so go back. Read them and go through them each.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, well, I was going to go through each one, but you would get your business license, which is not like it's just registering online, basically. You get your trademark, which is owning the name, and then the domain, which is your website, business account, and credit card. So I talk a little bit more about that later on, but just like starting Yeah, getting a business credit card and a business bank account for all expenses, creating social media accounts, building your website, and then finding a manufacturer, which would obviously be if you're like selling goods.
I want to add a few things here too. When
Okay.
you're first starting off in your business, she's laughing at me. When you're first starting off in a business, you don't have any credit. So, how do you get a business credit card? So, what Georgie had to do was build credit. You know, in her first credit card, I think she can only spend something like $100 or $200 a month. And then every month, when they see that you're making your payments on time, your credit builds, and then your line grows a little bit further. The other thing is too, finding a domain name is not that easy. Most of the great names are what, Georgie?
They're mostly taken, like, and even if they're not being actively used, sometimes websites like GoDaddy or just like random websites own those domains and you just like can't even acquire them.
Tell them what you had to do with All My Love.
I want to get there.
Okay.
We're going
Sorry.
you're getting ahead of yourself. I know it's exciting.
Look how white her teeth look. That's my daughter.
No, oh my God. It's been a long morning. Okay. Let's go to oh yeah, this is where we'll start. Okay, so business license is the first thing. So I registered as an LLC, which is a limited liability company. But basically, I put the website on the bottom bullet there, and you basically go to that website and you register your business. I don't remember. I think it cost something like $500 off the top of my head, and you like legally register for a business. So you can't operate as a business without doing this first. So I would probably say this is the number one step. You don't even need the official name of your business. It can be different. You don't have to own the trademark or anything, just whatever you want it to be in the beginning, just to have that license. But I'm pretty sure what I registered it as is not the operating name right now, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, and then you file a statement of information with the California Secretary of State. So it's all on the same website, and you just renew that every year. Oh, next slide. Okay, so we'll start with trademark. So basically, you can look on Google if other people are, let's say you think of a name, for example, my business name is All My Love. I Googled if anyone was using the name All My Love. I couldn't find anything that came up. Let's say someone is using the name All My Love. That doesn't even necessarily mean that they own it. The trademark might still be available. I know my dad a couple years ago got a trademark and someone else was using the name. So they ended up just buying it from him because they wanted it. So just because someone else has it doesn't mean they own it. So I Googled everything. I didn't see anything. And then when I went to register the trademark online, which is also just like something you can Google, and I put the link there too. I remember the trademark was taken, but nobody was using it. So I had to basically wait a full year and prove that the trademark was not being used. And then I was able to override that and get the trademark, even though somebody else owned it, because you can't have a trademark that's not being used, then you can't own it forever. So yeah, and then also like for example, if All My Love toothpaste existed, I could still get that trademark because there are different categories. I sell clothing. So there's like a bunch of different loopholes, but basically you're guided through the process when you apply for the trademark. Do you have anything you want to say, Dad?
Now you're doing such a great job.
Okay. The next is social media. So for me, the name was All My Love, but I can't get the All My Love Instagram account, which is very annoying, or the website, even though both are inactive bots. I just like, trust me, I've tried everything. I just can't get them. So all across my social handles are Shop All My Love, just to keep everything uniform and clean. And so is my domain. It's www.shopallmylove.com. So that's like a big part of when you're choosing a name too. Let's say you think of a great name, but you literally can't get the social handles anywhere, the website anywhere, then it might be a good decision to change the name. But if you think of a great name and you're not ready to start your business, I would say just get the Instagram just to have it for the future because they'll go quickly.
And I do want to say something. One of the smartest things you can do, because she's right, all the good names are taken, is make up a name. You know, how many of you have heard of the brand Spanx? You know Spanx, right? How do they spell Spanx? How do they spell it?
Should I answer? Does nobody know?
No, they do. They're just not saying it loud enough. Say it loud. X, Spanx. And the only reason they did that was they could own everything. If they spelled it any other way, why did I add a third O to poof? The same thing. So, you know, she had to take.
Yeah, but not to interrupt, but if there was a whitening product called Poof, Poof, you still could not get the trademark for Poof because it's too similar and they're the same categories.
100% right. Isn't my kid smart? Give her a hand.
It's like way too much credit. So like, yeah, I couldn't just start a clothing brand called Chanel with two L's at the end. You know what I mean? Like it does have to actually be different enough for you to own it. But yeah, and then anyway, so when you make your social media accounts, for you to be able to have an Instagram shop, you also need to have an Instagram Facebook set up. Which even if you don't plan to sell on Facebook, it's very annoying, but you have to make a business Facebook and then link it on the back end so that you can have an Instagram shop later on. Next slide, please. So now I'll talk about the business credit card. My dad like talked to you guys a little bit about it, but yeah, when I wanted to start my business, I had zero credit. So what had happened was I had a credit card with my parents and they never gave the credit card company my social security number. So for my entire life, I built zero credit and I had zero credit history, even though I thought for all those years I was building credit. And building credit basically just means that you have a history of paying off your bills every month. So like, let's say I bought school supplies and whatever, there's a credit card statement at the end of the month and my parents paid that. Like I wasn't accumulating credit from that. So for me to go in and apply for a business credit card, I literally couldn't get one. So what I had to do was I went to Bank of America, and I don't know, I'm sure there's other options, but I went to Bank of America because this is what my sister had to do too. And I got a special credit card with them where I paid them a loan of $1,000 and I had a limit. I can only spend $500 a month on this credit card. And every month, if you paid off the card for a year, showing that you can actually pay off your bills and actually building your own credit, they then give you your $1,000 back. And then you can now you have a year of credit. So now you actually have a credit score, you actually have a credit history. So I did that for a full year before I was able to apply for a business credit card and get a business credit card. And it's really important to have a business credit card. I mean, I could go down a whole rabbit hole of this, so like I'm not going to get too far into it, but any business expense you have is a tax write-off. So it's really important to keep your expenses clean and to have everything on your business credit card so that at the end of the year you can get that money back. And then examples of business expenses I listed here in case you don't know what that means, obviously. Obviously, if I'm buying supplies or anything directly related to my business, that's a business expense, but so is transportation, so is shipping, so are meals, whatever. So it's really important to have. And then I put a picture of two different top rated business credit cards at the bottom of this screen. So you can, I don't know if you want to take a picture, if you're ever interested in getting a business card, but these were voted the best business credit cards of 2025. I have the one on the left. It's really great. I get so many points from it. So I highly recommend these two. Next slide, please. Okay, website and domain. So this is my website. I use Shopify to build it. Nowadays, these platforms, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, they're extremely user-friendly. So anybody can make their own website. I do hire people to help me with customizations just because I'm spread too thin. But literally, you can actually like look up YouTube videos or Google how to do most things, and it's just like very, very easy to navigate. And then I also listed where you can get your domain from. So I use Shopify to get my domain, but these are all websites where you can purchase your own domain. Next slide, please. So manufacturers, like again, if you're offering a service, you don't need a manufacturer, but if you're selling goods, you do. So the best ways I've found to do it is to Google in your area. Honestly, I wouldn't even recommend doing that because people pay to be your top Google search. So it's not even necessarily like that helpful. I would say the most helpful thing is to get references and just asking around. Some people are like weird about sharing it, but that is the best way you can do it. There's also for apparel, for example, there are shows in downtown LA. Like I'm going to a show called Textile World next in 2 weeks, and there are just stands of manufacturers there, and you can actually meet with them in person and look at the kind of products they make and see samples of it. And like I would say, anything that you can go to like that is the best way to find your manufacturers. I also say don't put all your eggs in one basket. My dad and I tell this story every year, but when I started off, I worked with one manufacturer that was recommended to me, and they built my whole first collection. And long story short, they were awful, completely ripped me off. They were so beyond behind on every single deadline. The quality wasn't good. Like overall, it's just terrible. And I was just stuck because they had all of my designs for that collection, and I I was basically at their mercy. So now I work with, I would say, like 6 different manufacturers, and I give everybody a couple of things, and I never feel like if they start underperforming, then I start moving things to another one, but I never feel like I'm stuck anymore. And a big thing I learned was never to pay upfront with manufacturers and just in general in your business. A lot of people are going to ask for upfront payments. You never have to do that. So with manufacturers, for example, they'll ask to be paid up front. I only pay 50% up front, and I pay the other 50% once the goods are delivered, because otherwise there's no incentive for them to be doing everything on your timeline and to keep everything on track. Like if you pay them up front, they could just do whatever they want and take their time. Um, and the first thing I would ask when you're inquiring, so let's say you do go to a textile show and you meet with different manufacturers, or you just reach out online. The biggest questions to ask are, what are your MOQs and what are your lead times? MOQs is a minimum order quantity. So like if they have a 5,000 unit MOQ, I'm not working with them. I work with people who have really low MOQs because I never want to feel like I have to hit their number and in turn spend way too much or have way too much product. And then lead time is also like very important. So those are the 2 questions I would ask up front. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is just like a self plug, but this is where you can find my brand on my website and then on all social media accounts. And yeah, I take in summer interns in person and remote. So if anybody's ever interested, you can email customer care at shopallmylove.com.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Awesome. Georgie, what would you say is the most important lesson you learned in, your whole voyage of making your business and growing it to where it is today?
If I had to choose one, it would be, it's a little bit dark, but I just don't trust people. Like when you're hiring, not people that you hire directly, but when you work with agencies or pay anybody on retainer, like be on top of everything. Like don't trust, nobody cares about your business as much as you do. So if I'm passing off all these responsibilities to you, like it's my business. Like it's my responsibility to make sure that I see that everything's being done properly at the quality that it was promised on time. Like that's your responsibility as a business owner, and to never just trust other people to handle things perfectly for you because nobody cares about it as much as you. And everything, this is my second biggest lesson, everything is negotiable. any price you get ever is not the real price. And I used to just be like, oh, okay, I don't think I can do that. Or, oh, yeah, sure. Everything's negotiable. Come up with the price that you want and tell people what you're willing to pay.
That's a very good point. Very good point. Also, you guys grab your notebooks. In your top 20, you have to put this one. This is one of the smartest things my grandfather ever taught me. And it really ties into what Georgie said. Nobody cares about your money as much as you. Nobody cares about your money as much as you. If you create a business and think you're going to run it remotely, I promise you it'll fail. Nobody cares about your money like you. Nobody cares about your business like you. If you want to be successful, you need to be hard as nails, and you need to be there, and you need to be present, and you need to be... One of the reasons why Discus Dental was able to grow better and faster than Procter & Gamble and Colgate and all these multi-billion-dollar companies is because Robert and I were there every day running it. And as soon as we saw something, we could change and compete and beat them. In order for them to make a change, they had to go through one committee, then another committee. By the time they did all that, we already beat them. Get it? Good. You know, the other thing, Georgie, is, you know, one of the things that you've been successful in is really being able to leverage, you know, social media. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. In the beginning of starting my business, I feel like my dad has such amazing advice, but when he started Discus, like social media didn't exist. So it's just very different now when you start businesses. Like it's so important, like especially for things like clothing brands, cosmetic brands. I mean, like all day long when you're on social media, you're seeing ads. And it's like your biggest presence. Like more people will know what my Instagram account looks like versus even my website. So I would say it's really, really important. I've seen a lot of like the best way for me to get sales is through influencer marketing and meta ads, which is I only do Instagram. I don't do Facebook ads, but those are like the two ways that I get almost all of my sales. So it's really, really important.
Awesome. So if anybody has any questions, if you ask them to me, I'll repeat them so Georgie can hear them because it's hard. Yes, stand up, please. So the question is, how do you track your business expenses on the business credit card versus a regular credit card?
So how do I track my business expenses? I mean, I'm the one paying every invoice and not the one making the expenses, so I know exactly what's going on there. But yeah, for example, I mean, I would recommend like hiring a CPA, even if you can't hire a CPA, even doing anything like TurboTax or like there are so many places where you can get these kinds of resources or even just Googling. But like, for example, I primarily work from home. Like in terms of fulfillment, I do go to like an office, but like I primarily work from home. So a percentage of my rent can be written off. So when I'm paying that off every month, a percentage of that gets written off. Or like your car lease, for example, like I'm driving to manufacturers, I'm driving to meetings, that's a business expense. So like your car lease can be written off. I'm buying boxes, tape, any sort of supplies also goes on my business card. If I'm even sometimes I'll go to a store and I'll be like, oh, I love the shape of this, like I'll buy this. That's a business expense because I'm using it for sampling. Obviously, if I go, almost anything can be a business expense. Like, let's say I go get my hair done, but it's for a photo shoot, business expense. I'm trying to think of things that are not business expenses, but most things can be.
She's right. And I think an important thing, and the reason why you want a business credit card is just so that it doesn't look messy. Because if you commingle your expenses and you ever get audited.
That's what's hard.
Sorry?
That's what's hard is if
Yeah.
you have it on your personal, then you have to go through and find every single thing that's a business expense to be able to write that off. Whereas if you have separate accounts, you know everything in that one account is a business expense, you know everything in the other account's a personal expense, and it makes it very clean at the end of the tax season.
Yeah, I mean, because the big thing, you don't ever want to get audited. If you ever get audited by the IRS, they literally sit there and analyze every single thing you have on there. And if you have to go, oh, well, I have this on this and this on this and this on this, and it's so much easier. It's like, this is all business. Well, why is a haircut a business? Well, because I was a model in my photo shoot on this date, and you know what I mean? So it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
But good question. Any other? Yes. What is the one thing you wish that someone told you when you were starting your business? That was me.
What do you mean?
What's
When
the
I
one thing that I didn't tell you, or that you didn't know, that you wish somebody had told
Oh,
you
okay,
when you
I'll blame
started?
you. The thing that my dad never told me was start very small. Like I made too many clothes in the beginning and I had zero customer base. Like and I in my mind I was like, "Oh, I'm going to make this beautiful collection." I just made way too much and it took me a long time to sell through it and it was very damaging because you want to obviously continue to have releases. So, yeah, that was like something I wish I knew in the beginning was to just start very, very small.
And the other thing too is she wasn't really sure what sizes to make things in. So she ended up spending a lot of money making sizes that just didn't sell. There are certain sizes that are very popular and other ones that aren't. And so if you go in and you just blindly make 10 of these and 10 of these and 10 of these and 10 of these, then you sell out in these popular sizes, and then you have all this excess in sizes that
Yeah.
not many people are going to buy.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she is. Are you
I
wearing
can't
All
hear.
My Love right now? And what's your best-selling item?
Oh, thank you for asking. I always am. I'm wearing a sample right now. But my best-selling item, should we pull up my website?
Absolutely.
My best-selling item is my
Justin, can you pull up her website,
I feel
please?
weird if I just like say the name of it, but I sell elevated basics. So I make cashmere pieces, I make wool silk tank tops, I make really nice trousers. Um, my best-selling pieces are it's a gray t-shirt tank, a gray cashmere t-shirt, and then a gray cashmere sweatpant that matches it.
And she designs all these
If you go
too.
to shop, they should be at the top of the page. Okay, wait. Okay, move out of the menu, go bring your yeah, that's fine. Okay, see that oh, no.
Whoops, go back,
Oh, go
Justin.
to bestsellers, go to bestsellers. That's where you'll see those. Okay, those 2 items are my bestsellers, and then my tank tops are my next bestsellers. So these wool silk tank tops, they're really nice.
And then she makes extra large in the cashmere so that Papa can wear them too.
I make extra large and everything.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. So, how do you define your target market? And then, how do you leverage your social media toward that target market?
Good question. These have all been really good questions. So when I started my brand, I think I thought my target market was younger than it is. I thought it was like high school to college, and it's really not. I think that the clothes are for everybody. I really do, and they're made to be that way. They're all really flattering. Nothing's too revealing. But when I started running Instagram ads, that's when we learned a lot about who the target market was. And I've learned now that the target market is women between the ages of like 22 and 38. Um, So yeah, but all of these pieces are meant to live in your wardrobe forever, and I think the younger customer is more of like a Frankie's bikinis, like I think that the stuff that I make is a little bit more mature and just meant to be in your wardrobe forever. So that's when I realized my customer was a little bit older, still young.
Georgie, what would you say was one of the biggest um, uh, breaks that you got in your business that kind of propelled you to the next level?
Um, I had so I've worked a lot with influencers organically and paid, mostly organically. And there was a girl who posted for me last year in August organically. She made a TikTok. Remember I showed you the TikTok and I was like, I do
I
not get
do.
it. I've had such beautiful content made for me that like did nothing. And then sometimes just the weirdest things will take off. And this girl posted a TikTok wearing that gray set that I had just showed you guys. And she got like way more views than she ever did, like hundreds of comments. And I couldn't keep it in stock for it's still my bestseller, but I like sold all of it that day, like immediately. It was so crazy. And like even just that period of time, like I gained so many customers and like grew my following that it's still like to this day I reap the benefits of that. Like it's still a bestseller and I still like have those customers for life because once I have them, I'm posting beautiful social media content. They're getting beautiful marketing emails. They're getting discounts on holidays. It's like I had like such a great opportunity to be opened up to that audience and to get those customers. So like for me, it's all about the long game. Like how do I keep them forever?
You know, one of the other things, believe it or not, Georgie's office is in the Leap office. So
Okay.
it's,
I don't really tell
well,
people
no,
that.
because what I want to say, Georgie, is I go down there and I look and her packaging is so incredibly beautiful. It's not like she just sends a sweater in a bag. Like it's really done with love. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful, and she hand does it, and she puts in little notes, and she really makes it like very special. So you
Yeah. Every
know,
customer gets tissue paper folded in with a note. It's like I've made a bunch of these notes. I don't like write them. I type them, but like yeah, everybody gets a note and tissue paper and like just like a really like a little stamp and just like nice packaging.
uh,
And it obviously that stuff costs. I mean, I'm pretty good about how I spend, but like in general, yeah, that does cost more than just throwing it in the box. But now you felt like you opened up a gift, and like next time you place an order, you're gonna be so excited to get it.
yeah, it sets you apart. There's something else that I know that she really battles with, and this is endemic in the entire industry, is returns. You know, a lot of people now shop online, so they just order all this stuff and then they return almost all of it, and
I
it's
don't suffer
really
with that too
frustrating.
much.
Sorry.
I don't suffer with that too much.
Well, talk about it a little bit because it is a
I mean,
thing.
returns suck. Like, I will get stuff back with like a big stain on it, or I'll get something back that smells terrible or has dog hair all over it. And it's like, obviously, it was worn. Or even if it wasn't worn, even if you tried it on at home and you damaged it, you're still sending it back to a small business. Like, that sucks. I can't sell it again. And so, like, I definitely think that there's an issue in like society and just the way that people like do order and then return and like I'll just receive things back just like in the grossest condition and it's just it really sucks. Um but like again, I'm playing the long game and for me it's really important that every single customer has an amazing experience with us. So I'm right now, I'm just like eating the cost because it's like, okay, it's one tank top. But if I email you and say this tank top smells terrible, I can promise you'll never shop on my website again. So it's like, it's just something that sucks. But I think in the long term, I'm gonna have a really I mean, I do right now, but I'll continue to build like such a strong customer base, and that's like so much more important to me.
Smart, smart. Any other questions? All the way in the back. Stand up and yell. So the question was, if you do get returns, are you charging a restocking fee or you just eat the whole thing?
I don't charge a restocking fee. I also don't think that that feels good to the customer. And again, like I really want everybody to have an amazing experience, but they do pay for the return label. Like when I issue the refund, we take off the cost of that label to have it sent back. So I'm not spending more money to get the product back.
That's
That's where I
fair.
draw the line.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Any other? Yes. So the question was, fast fashion is very trending and popular now. Your line looks like it's more mainstay and something that you're going to keep. How do you differentiate?
Yeah, I know I've said this 100 times, but I'm playing the long game. So like I know I don't want to list any other brands, but I know these like little influencer brands. They make their stuff on Alibaba. It's terrible quality. There's weird whatever reviews online about it. And like I know how popular fast fashion is, but even like stores like Zara, which like I think is so cute. Every single thing I own from Zara, I think I actually wear once and I never wear it again. Like for me, I think an investment piece is so much more valuable. Like buying something that I know I'll wear 100 times versus something that I'll wear once. And I think that people are starting to move more into like a minimalist, high end, just like style in general. And I think that those fast fashion brands that are so trendy don't have longevity. I think that a lot of these smaller brands that make things on Alibaba and sell it in the 200 range is so crazy. And I think that they're fun for now, but I don't think that you'll be purchasing from the places that you're purchasing now in 10 years. And I really want to be like the brand that withstands any wardrobe clean out. Like you buy it and maybe it's still in the same honestly price point as a lot of these fast fashion brands, but you really do have it forever. So I mean, it's tough though. I also manufacture in China, which I think gets like a bad reputation. But honestly, like the most beautiful manufacturers in the world are in China. Like they've built their economy on manufacturing and they have such beautiful craftsmanship. And I've manufactured in many places, a lot in LA, and the quality is unbeatable. And there are a lot of factories that are not fast fashion factories. Like these are not cheap pieces for me to make.
Great. All right, let's see one more question. Yes. How are tariffs affecting your business?
Ugh, I can't get political here. They're terrible. It was really, really bad when it was like almost 200% tariffs. Obviously that's astronomical, and I know it was excluded for big tech companies, so it really only damaged and like harmed small businesses, which is really cool. But now they're down to 30%, so that's okay for me. I have strong enough margins that that's okay, but it's still hard. And I mean, 30% is manageable if you have good margins, but it's more so the unpredictability. Like even those whatever it was, like 2 months where tariffs were just astronomically high, like that set so many brands back, like months and months. So I mean, I couldn't place the orders that I had ready to place because of the tariffs.
You know, the crazy thing is when people first heard tariffs, they're thinking, oh, wow, what a great idea. All these foreign companies are going to be paying these tariffs and we're going to make so much more money. That's not what happens. We pay the tariffs.
Well,
So,
most people know how tariffs work, except the person who placed the tariffs. But yeah,
exactly.
we pay them.
So we
When we
pay the
raise the
tariff.
tariffs, we're the only ones paying them.
Right.
Other countries are not. We are.
So if I have a company and I have to pay tariffs, who do you think I pass the costs on to? The consumer. So how is this good for America?
Yeah, you have to raise prices on everything because otherwise you can't afford to make it.
I
If
mean,
something would normally cost me $50, but now it's gonna cost me $100, guess who's paying the difference? I have to now raise the price on that product.
right. So when you run on a platform saying, I need a lower cost, lower cost, lower cost, and then put in all these tariffs, it's just not
No,
working.
but we can't get political. We just can't.
I didn't
All
mention
costs are
anybody's
higher right
name.
now.
I'm just saying. We'll do one last question. Yes. Yes, you. That's okay. Running, what consequences of what? What kind of consequences? Well, so the question is that he said he's heard that on Instagram, when you run ads, there can be consequences.
Hmm. I mean, what kinds of consequences?
Yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. So today, Georgie, we had a panel, and one of our influencers, who you know, Austin, he lost his father, and he stopped posting for a period of time, and he just lost a lot of his sponsors, and so he really suffered from the consequences of just not continuing to always be out there and posting and posting and posting. And so it really took him a while. Like he said, I think almost a year to get back to where he was before he did that.
Okay, I understand. I mean, if your full-time job is social media and you stop doing social media, that's gonna tank your engagement. So I see like I mean that I can't imagine what he went through, but I can see from a brand standpoint if your engagement is gone, like why would you work with somebody who's not posting? I think on the brand side, I don't there are no like the only consequence is if we all check out and we're not posting anything and we're not uploading anything and we're not doing anything, then we're just not getting sales. So I guess that would be the consequence of just not doing anything. But yeah, I mean every single day I'm we're posting and just staying active. That's the only way to continue to gain more customers.
Okay. You guys, let's give a big, big leap thank you to Georgie Girl.
Sweet dad.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. All right, now you can thank her. Awesome. All right, take a seat. Love you, Georgie Girl.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
I know this is like maybe a little bit more boring, but I feel like I wish I knew all of this stuff when I was starting my business. And thank you for having me in this very casual setting. And also, I have a past Leap intern out there, Yasmin, who is now a coach. So
yeah, stand up, Yasmin. Oh, she's a coach. And any of you that live in the LA area that would like to be an intern in a clothing company, contact me and I'll put you in touch with Georgie Girl. All right. Love you, Georgie.
My email, not my phone number.
All right.
I have gotten some crazy texts before. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right.